Good afternoon. We are live for our masterclass on the new Metro 2 system, and Credit Money Machine. Let me check that everything is working correctly, that people are seeing. We should be seeing now on the main screen. Just a second. Everything should be fine. Everything should be fine. Okay. Okay, we're going to start, and we have, as I promised in some of my emails, we have also other things to say related to templates and other things. So I'm going to go to that right now, so we have time to do the Metro 2 system just a little bit later, in a few minutes. So the couple of things that I would like to mention in the task manager is, sorry, not here, task, the template manager I meant. The template manager is a couple of new features plus a letter that I want to talk about, and a new feature that is very, very interesting, probably for you all, is how to compare two templates side by side. Sometimes you are duplicating a template, right here, duplicating a template, and it's somewhat difficult to know what you wrote or what are the changes. So if we go to the templates tool, and this is going to be available Monday, I believe it's available now, but I'm not 100% sure. But certainly by Monday. But if here in the templates tool, we have this new button, compare two templates side by side. So it's very simple to select two templates. So let's say that I select this template, okay, and now I go to another one and I select the other template. So pretty much straightforward. And then I click in the center to select both templates. And now obviously I can compare and I can see them. So if I'm writing in each one, remember the second one should be probably the one that you created, okay? But every change that you make to either one will be saved unless you click back no save. Another little feature is that you can, for example, grab a section. I'm going to grab a nicer section. So you can highlight this and click copy, for example, and then go to this template and click paste and paste what you have copied and highlighted previously. So that's very nice feature, and that's pretty much that. The other things are, you know, you can have Zoom, you have a link you can run it. You should know all that, or change the font, or even find a word in the dictionary. So you can do all that, and then click back and save, or back no save as appropriate. And both templates will be updated with the new information that you modify on each, not with the same information, but with the information that you modified in each one. The other thing that I promised to talk about is the response letter that many people ask me about it, and we have it here for the longest of time, but the reality is many people don't know about it. So it's here, right? As a matter of fact, I have it here in the shortcuts, okay? So it's simply I'm doing that just to show off the shortcut features that you can have. So okay, so we have now selected this letter. So what happened is this. Sometimes for a variety of reasons, and usually the main reason is that you put too many disputes in a letter, the bureau sends a letter to the client saying this letter deemed suspicious or is fraudulent, etc., etc. And of course, that in essence, they're putting you against your client because your client is going to say, oh, you're sending a letter that is not right or whatever, which in fact is somewhat true because, again, it comes from frivolous disputes almost. So anyways, Experian is famous for doing that. But the letter that we have here to deal with that is this one. And so basically, if your client receives that letter, you can answer on behalf of your client saying something like this. You can modify it, obviously. But it says, Dear Legal Department, I have sent several letters to whatever, in this case is TransUnion, with concerns about the accuracy of items in my credit report. In response to my concerns, I received a letter stating that TransUnion had determined that the letters were not sent by me, which is the reason that they give. This looks like this is not sent by you, making it like it's illegal, the letter being sent by someone else, which is not. It's not illegal, it's simply that they don't want to work for free. So I'm not sure how TransUnion made that determination, but I assure you that I sent those letters. So because, you know, it's exactly the same if you have the power of attorney, if you send it or your clients. But I'm using a software, so we're not saying that we're not using a software to create the letters and report the errors in my credit report. And I'm using the same software to create this letter too, but I don't believe there is nothing illegal with that. On the other hand, it is illegal that you don't investigate the errors in my credit report, and now with this letter received from you, I have irrefutable proof that that is exactly what you're doing. So this is kind of important, in my opinion. Let me just point out that I'm not an attorney, so this is just a personal opinion, not a legal opinion, but in my opinion, this is obvious that they are saying that they didn't investigate. So, but now that we have proof of that. Therefore, since you did not investigate my request as required by law, I am prepared to report you to the FTC and to demand on small court that your company will be punished for each one of these violations as permitted by law. So, you know, well, you can use these, this is too strong or not, depends what is your style and policy, but definitely at least it's pointing that, yeah, you can report them to the FTC if you see that as a violation of your rights. Furthermore, I'm going to request that TransUnion will be punished with an exemplary charge for punitive damages, since knowingly you are violating the law. But they do this every day, especially Experian. So if you immediately delete the items that you should have investigated, since already the time you had to do it already expired, which is the 30 days, I will forget about the whole issue. Otherwise, I will be forced to proceed and report you to the FTC and go to court. I expect TransUnion to take my concerns seriously and not to blow off them by arbitrarily determining that the letters I sent did not come from me. I have included proof of identity with this letter and the letter I received from TransUnion to resolve this matter as soon as possible. So this letter has been proven very powerful in refuting and contesting these letters from the bureaus, and these letters should be sent certified, and you know, and again, be advised that it's illegal to threat a creditor or bureau if you don't have the intention to do so. But also your client had to have the intention to do it for real. Or at least tell you that they have the intention, because otherwise it would be an empty threat. Again, I'm not an attorney, but this is kind of a common knowledge. Everybody knows that. If right now, if you're not using Credit Money Machine and you want to receive this template to use it in another software, please request that to templates@lmrinternational.com. This is in consideration to those of you that are not using our software but still have a credit repair company. I certainly don't mind that you benefit from that. So so just copy the address there and and that's pretty much that will be that. Okay, now we're gonna go back here, and we're going to address the other thing that I want to talk about in this with these templates in the template manager. I mean, every week there are many features, and some of them are really important. Some of them are less important. But the point is, of course, if you don't upgrade, you're not gonna be able to enjoy those new features. And I will try from time to time to have webinars explaining the new things, and not only big things but even smaller things that makes your life easier, like the compare templates or this feature that I'm going to explain. Many people requested, and this is a limitation, unfortunately, not of the software itself, but actually of the language that cannot do it. But we found a way to circumvent that. And the point here is how to mix. People sometimes like to have signatures that contain images, like your logo or something. Could contain a link, your logo, but the rest they want to be regular text. So in other words, it's not a full-fledged HTML that was created with a bunch of backgrounds and this and that, which is possible. You need to just to create it as an HTML page. But I created a way to have both systems at the same time, and it works like this. If you let me put this as big as possible. If you insert in the new version, not the one that you have right now probably, but the new version that is available, even right now is available, but Monday for sure. But if you upgrade, I'm sorry, if you enter an HTML text in combination, any HTML text, and not only one, you can do 2, 3, 4, 5. So in other words, potentially you can say, this is image. I'm using this template because this is the one that you received today. And so you know what I'm talking about, I hope. And so the thing is that if you insert one or more HTML code that are surrounded or wrapped with the tag HTML and ending in /HTML, you can have unlimited of them. And let's say, imagine that here would say, well, this is our image that explains this, boom, and you can have an HTML code with that. And then here would say, for example, and this is an image number 2, and you have another image, and so on and so forth. In this case, what I'm putting here is my my face, and then also, let me show it to you here. Okay, and it doesn't look nice here, and this is the beauty. This is just a preview, and of course, if you do a preview, it's not going to look nice because this preview is an HTML preview and not the special system that happens when you send the email. When you send the email, the system detects those portions of HTML and actually insert them as an HTML code in your rich text. So you need to send this as a rich text, which is the normal and pretty much the default format that you use when you're sending emails. And then you can have one or more. Probably I will use this to, from now on, maybe to do some little to talk about the new features, for example, and have a kind of a mini manual that I can send as a template, as an email to you all. So the users are, but I think it's a nice thing, and the ones of you that have received, I assume if you are here, is because you receive this email. You see how nice it is to have something that looks intimate and looks very personal, and is very simple to use, one or many. Okay, so that's that, and now I'm gonna start talking on on the Metro tool which is the main reason for this webinar. Here we have, first, let me kind of clarify it. What is that people talk about the Oscar Metro 2, and sometimes it gets confusing what is what and what is the reason. And but in reality, it's very simple. The eOscar is simply the software, is the name of the software that the credit bureaus use to communicate with the creditors. And it's something that was created by them essentially, and that's that. Now the eOscar and other software, not necessarily only the eOscar, but other software too, communicate with creditors for different reasons using the Metro 2 format. And the Metro 2 is just that. It's a format, like we said, for example, name, last name, and address. Well, if that would be the total number of fields, and we put that between XML tags, well, that would be a format too. So, well, obviously the Metro 2 is much more complex format, but in essence, it's a format. So that means that the bureaus communicate with the creditors through the eOscar using the Metro 2 format. And then the Metro 2 format uses codes so they can communicate more efficiently with, so in other words, they don't type things, but they might type things in certain places as appropriate, but they don't type things usually, but only they say, you know, the account number is wrong, for example, or they have to be correct, or have to be verified, and things like that. So for different reasons, there are only a limited amount of fields or reasons that can be disputed under the Metro 2. So it's not everything that we say. So for example, just to put it into perspective, if I'm saying, if I'm disputing, for example, in a judgment that, I don't know, that the neighbor bothered me, and because of that is wrong or something. I mean, this is kind of a silly thing that I'm inventing, but there is no place in the Metro 2 to put that. So that would be discarded or misused, and definitely is not what we want. So, but if you dispute the right stuff, then you have a better chance, especially if you're gonna eventually dispute them all if necessary. You're not going to dispute more when it's deleted, but you have all these options. For example, for a judgment, you have the amount that has to be correct, the case number, the day has to be complete, the day, file, the defendant, the ECOA codes, the line status, the plaintiff, and the public record type. So these are, let's say, fields, if you want, that should be correct in the Metro 2 format. So by disputing these, you have a better chance. Now, you have this letter here, I mean, this template, sorry, that is in the legal category here, okay, legal category, what to dispute in the Metro. So you have this list, but now we did it in an automated way. So it's absolutely very, very simple, and just pretty much one click. I'm going to go back and enter into the credit repair area as usual, and I'm going to paste a credit report. I'm doing it like this so you know where I'm coming from. So I'm gonna copy, since it only takes a few seconds, maybe a little bit more, and now we have a new system that, as you can see, it goes to the bottom of the credit report. And the reason is that we notice that in many credit reports, like a credit check total, for example, they are pretty long. I mean, the length of the actual report, not because of your client has a lot of derogatories, but because of the formatting that they have inside. They're pretty long, and because of that, people were pasting less than ideal, less than necessary, so to speak, and because of that, they weren't extracting correctly. So right now, when you with the new version on Monday, the program will pretty much take you at the end so you can visualize the HTML code for a few seconds and be sure that is correct. Okay, so here we have an extraction of a credit report. And I'm going to show you how it works, the Metro 2. First of all, you need to mark it here. You need to tag it here to make it work. And it can be by client. So in other words, you might decide for whatever reason or no reason at all not to use the Metro 2 system, or you can use it in certain clients. So whether, if you put it, it's going to be checked and it's going to be used. Otherwise, it's going to be work as usual. And also, if you click here, okay, you're going to have this list, which is exactly the same list that you have in the template, but at least, you have it handy to visualize, maybe copy, whatever, or print. So, being said that, let me show you how it works. The first two rounds, so to speak, is going to be essentially the same. You're going to say whatever you want to say here. Remember that you are in total control. By the way, let me show you here. Here we have this reason, right? The dispute reason, and you can select a different one manually, or you can even modify this by typing on it. You see this code here, number 4. That means that this is the default for that, and for the default for collections. But you can change that here when you click the S here for set, and you see it gives you all the ones available. This one is the one that is going to be by default. If you want another one to be the default, in this one you can see it also, but because it goes in order, it's going to take this one first. So this one is not taken in consideration, and actually, to be perfectly honest, it shouldn't even be here, only not to be confusing. Okay. But in any event, probably what happened is that I was testing and I duplicated the things by mistake. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. But then here we have also the special reasons for a particular type of dispute, which is the collection here, right? And you can see this has this reason has the code to be spawned at a later time. So in other words, it's going to produce different reasons for each one, because it has these spinning symbols that you can also create or you can modify, but this is not the purpose of this webinar. But you can definitely, so for example, yes, I guess I can do it. For example, the word remove, if I click here, I will have the option for remove, you see, and I have remove, abolish, maybe get rid of, erase is fine, chip no, strike no, pull out maybe, eliminate definitely, dismiss yes, discard yes, discharge, well, who knows, cut out, erase, withdraw, delete definitely, efface to relegate, disturb, eject, sponge definitely, displace, purge, okay. So basically what I'm doing here is deleting the ones, strike out maybe, and wipe out, clear away, and I'm deleting, I'm omitting, which is in this case deleting, I wipe out, and leaving the ones I want, and then I click insert, and the program, you see, inserts automatically the spinning code correctly, so this will be spawned, this word, and then you can do that with every word. That's pretty much the way we have built the other ones. So you have that, and you are in perfect control, as we are the only ones that do that. So in any way, so this is the default, right? We have the default, and then we click the next one. As I said, the first two rounds is going to be, remember, this is going to come in progress the first time, right? And you might, depending the way that you work, some companies work differently. So this one was in progress as soon as you print them. I'm not going to do it because it's not the purpose. So it comes in progress, right? It's going to be red when you get out like this. And my suggestion to have all the history, but you might differ with me if I mean, if you have a company that maybe people has a lot of disputes and it will become so cumbersome, so long that you may want to put this back to do and change the theme. So for this purpose, usually I will suggest to do a duplicate like this and then do the next, which I'm gonna do for now on so you can see it. But also you can change, as you know, the status and simply click the next button. So the next, which is the DNA, the Dispute Next Assistant, by clicking, I'm here, right, in the yellow one, in the yellow line, I'm gonna click on it, and it's gonna go to the second round. You see, no big deal now. This is what been happening for a long time. But the next round, and I'm not going to do the process again because I'm not going to have it like this. As a matter of fact, just to be very clear, I'm going to select, I click the omit but with shift in order to have just one. And that could be useful for things like this to have just one or something and be able to analyze it. So anyways, now because I have the Metro 2 system on, I'm going to click next, and you can see that now I have a different reason. This reason, what you see here in the tooltip, is not necessarily identical of what you're going to have. And the reason is that because it's going to be spawned at printing time. So right now what you're seeing is the default thing, pretty much the first option of all the spinning things, but not the one that is going to be produced. And also this one is a different letter. You see that says this is a genetic letter for the N2S that also has spinning material. And so when you click here, if you want, you don't have to. And this is only to view. You're gonna see it in the spinning format, so to speak. And then if you want to see it in a random solution, is this one. And of course, that doesn't mean that when you print it's going to be identical, because it's going to be spawned again. So, but this will give you an idea of what it's going to say. Essentially, it's going to say the same, but with different words. And that's the whole point. Okay, so you see here that if you see that the capital letters here, okay, capital letters, you're going to see, as a matter of fact, I can go with my Alt key. If you remember, I can go with my Alt key and then hover, and then I can pop up this. And sorry, I clicked the wrong thing. Okay, this one, you see that account number is the main item. So it's the item that we are kind of disputing, right? So you can see here, right, account number. And now I'm going to click again. And you see it's different, this one, and it's disputing amount past due. And so on and so forth to be unlimited. You see this is the E, which is creditor name, and then this will be F, which is current balance, and then I click again, and this will be G. So these are different rounds, right? You're gonna be printing this in different rounds as appropriate, equal code, etc. But you can see here H, right? And I'm gonna give more H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, all of that, different things. And now it came back to C. So when it is the range of fields to dispute under the Metro 2 is exhausted, it will go back. So essentially, well, they were like 17 rounds could be possible in this particular format, this particular type. I meant collections have more, as you know, than, for example, inquiries. In inquiries, the only thing that need to be correct are the inquiry date and the name of the inquirer. And of course, that is after you dispute that the inquiry is not theirs and also to verify that. And see, always it's possible to change this manually, right? And so if we have um, if we have an inquiry here, imagine that this is an inquiry. If this is an inquiry and I do the next one, it's going to be the verification, and then the next one. So at any point in time, it's going to be this one, which is the name and the date and the name of the creditor, and then it's going to go back and forth. But at any time, you can simply click on it and select a different one by hand. Okay, so you can select this one anytime you want, and everything will be fine. Okay, so essentially that's that. I'm gonna see if I have any questions here that I can address. Okay, I don't have questions, so that's good. That's good. And so, well, I guess that's all. I'm gonna give a couple of seconds, and I'm gonna show you this thing that probably you don't know, even if you're using our software. But do you know that you can buy our software on installment for less than you're paying now to rent your current software? Certainly, the installments will be cheaper than any other software that you're using right now. But even assuming that you're using Credit Money Machine, the Pro Plus version, for example, or even the Pro version, the installment will be less than what you're paying now. So, if you want information, just call us. You have the number. I'm going to put the number here, or send us an email to sales@LMR International. And here are the phone numbers and stuff. And I think it's all for today. I hope that you enjoyed. Have been nice and sweet and short. And next week I'm gonna try to have something very, very nice for you guys. So for now, enjoy your weekend and thanks a lot. See you soon. Bye bye.